John Jungkook is here. The hallway burst the second his name slipped from someone's mouth. Girls near the lockers immediately fixed their hair, whispering and trying not to look too desperate. Oh my god, he's so hot in black. He didn't even glance this way, did he? He never does. They giggled and sighed like they were living the same heartbreak every day. But the funny thing was, no one actually dared to walk up to him, not a single one. Because Jungkook wasn't like the other boys who smiled and flirted around, he was cold, too calm, too sharp. One wrong word, one silly move, and that one look from him could make your stomach drop. And yet, everyone wanted to be near him. Even the guys followed him with that mix of fear and admiration. He had that power, the kind that didn't need to be spoken. Jungkook walked through the corridor like he owned it, headphones in, black jacket on, eyes fixed straight ahead. His friends Taeyong and Jimin trailed behind, laughing and making jokes he wasn't even listening to. Taeyong smirked at the group of girls whispering nearby. Man, they stare at you like you are some movie star. Jungkook didn't even look. They are loud. Jimin laughed. Don't you think you are too heartless? Man, give one of them a chance. They are ready to die for you. He just shoved his hands in his pockets. Not my problem. That was him, quiet, untouchable, never caring about the chaos that followed him. Jimin winked at a girl who almost fainted. Not only Jungkook but the whole group of these infamous boys are wanted by every girl. He was heading toward the basketball court when something outside the window made him stop. He didn't know why, but his eyes caught on it immediately. You were in the parking area, bent down next to your bike, muttering something under your breath. Your hair fell across your face, and your hands were slightly greasy from trying to fix the chain. You looked normal, no makeup, no crowd around you, just you, frustrated and focused. Jungkook tilted his head slightly, watching. Taeyong noticed the sudden pause. What happened? Jungkook didn't answer. He just leaned a little to the side, still staring through the glass. Jimin followed his gaze, then grinned. Oh, someone got your attention. Jungkook gave him a blank stare. Shut up. Jimin chuckled. You have never stopped walking for anyone, man, unless it's Ryan. You have something for her, don't you? Jungkook clicked his tongue. It's nothing. But even he knew that wasn't true. Something about you felt different. You weren't like the girls who froze when he looked at them. You didn't even seem to see him. And that alone made him stay there a little longer, watching. The way you frowned, how you cursed under your breath when your hand slipped, he almost smiled. Almost. You, meanwhile, were ready to throw your bike into a trash can. What's up with you, you stupid piece of junk? You sat kicking it, finally frustrated. You bent down again trying to fix it, but it just wouldn't move. Ugh, stupid piece of junk. You were so focused that you didn't hear the footsteps behind you. Maybe don't call it names. A voice came, low, calm, and familiar. It's not the bike's fault. You turned around fast, heart jumping a little, and there he was, John Jungkook, the boy everyone feared, the boy everyone talked about, standing right in front of you. Oh, you blinked, stepping aside. I was just, yeah, it's fine, I can handle it. He crouched down next to the bike like he didn't even hear you. His fingers brushed the chain lightly, eyes scanning it. It came off the gear. He said after a second, you were trying to pull it in the wrong way. You bit your lip. Right, I was just about to. He glanced up and your words died halfway. His gaze wasn't cold or angry like people said, it was calm and curious. You should let me do it, he said quietly. You'll mess up your hand. You frowned, but somehow you moved aside anyway. Fine, go ahead. He fixed it quickly, like he had done this 100 times. Then he wiped his hands on his jeans and stood up, tall and still effortlessly cool. Try it now. You pushed the handle and the bike moved smoothly. It's working. He just nodded, told you. You gave a small, shy smile. Thanks. He shrugged lightly. Don't mention it. He turned to leave but paused when he caught you still looking. For a second, neither of you said anything, just quiet air between you, warm and strange. Then he looked away, hands back in his pockets. You should clean your hands, he muttered before walking off. You stared after him, confused. You had seen him around before, but this, him talking to you, helping you, that was something no one would believe. But it's not even the first time. Don't know how, but he always shows up whenever you are in a problem. From the corridor, Taeyong watched the whole thing and almost choked on air. Bro, he helped her, like actually helped. Jimin grinned. He's doomed. He doesn't even know it yet. Jungkook shot them both a look as he reached them again. Not a word. He warned. Taeyong smiled. Sure, but your face says it all, man. Jungkook didn't reply, just put his earphones back in and walked ahead. But even as the music played, his thoughts kept drifting back to that small smile you gave him before he left. You didn't tell anyone what happened that morning with Jungkook. No one would believe it anyway. You just washed your hands, tied your hair and went to class like nothing happened. But somehow you couldn't get that short moment out of your head. The way he looked at you, not like he was bored or annoyed like with everyone else, it was quiet but kind of warm. You shook your head trying to focus on your notebook. Get a grip, you muttered to yourself. It was just a bike chain, not a love story. The bell rang and everyone rushed out. You were about to leave too when someone blocked your way. Hey, a deep voice said. You looked up only to find Minho. He was leaning against your desk, that annoying smirk playing on his lips. Tall, good-looking, and always surrounded by trouble. Oh, it's you said flatly. He chuckled. That's some cold welcome. You sighed. What do you want? He tilted his head. You didn't reply to my message last night. I didn't see it. He smirked again. Don't lie, you left me on scene. You blinked. Then take the hint. That made his smile fade a little. You really think you can ignore me like that? Yeah, you said simply, grabbing your bag. Watch me. You tried to walk past him, but he stabbed in your way again. Come on, don't act tough. Just say yes once. I'm not that bad. You'll like me. You rolled your eyes. I already said no. Don't make me repeat it. His jaw tightened a little, but before he could say anything else, a voice came from behind. Yo, Minho. One of his gang members called from the door. Coach is looking for you, man. He clicked his tongue. Fine, we'll talk later. You didn't answer, you just pushed past him and left. He turned to watch you walk away, the muscle in his jaw twitching. Something about the way you brushed him off burned his ego. Later that afternoon, the campus buzzed louder than usual. Basketball practice, everyone gathered near the court, shouting and cheering, and there he was again. John Jungkook, captain of the team, black hair slightly messy, sweat glistening under the sun. The crowd went crazy every time he moved, but his eyes didn't move with them. They found you. You were standing near the gate holding a book, talking to one of your friends, not even realizing he was watching. Jungkook dribbled the ball absent-mindedly. Taeyong caught it, laughing. You okay, man? You spaced out. Yeah, Jungkook muttered, looking away quickly. Play. But Taeyong followed his line of sight and smirked. Oh, that's why. Shut up, Jungkook said under his breath, throwing the ball again. After practice, you were walking back toward the parking lot when you heard voices behind the bleachers. Bro, I saw her talking to Jungkook earlier. One guy said. Minho's voice came next, low and angry. What? Yeah, he helped her with something yesterday. Everyone is talking about it. You froze behind the wall. Minho cursed, loud enough to make you flinch. That bastard. You peeked slightly. He was standing with his group, jaw tied, hands fisted. Then he said something that made your stomach twist. He'll regret it so bad. No one touches what's mine. You frowned and stepped out from behind the wall. Excuse me? His head snapped toward you. Ryan, what are you doing here? I'm not yours. You said clearly, walking right up to him. Stop saying things like that. Minho blinked, caught off guard by her tone. I didn't mean. Yes, you did. You cut in. And if you think threatening people will make you like me, you really don't know me at all. The boys behind him went silent. You turned around and left, heart pounding but proud of yourself. But what you didn't know was that Jungkook had seen the last part from across the court. He had come to grab his bag when he noticed Minho standing too close to you. He didn't hear every word, but he saw your expression, that cold look in your eyes when you walked away. Something burned in his chest, not anger exactly, just the strange protective pull he didn't understand. Taeyong noticed his clenched jaw. Something's wrong? Jungkook didn't answer, he just threw his bag over his shoulder. Stay out of trouble, man. Jimin joked. Jungkook glanced toward the direction you went, eyes dark. I'm not the one who starts it, he muttered. The school courtyard was quieter than usual until a loud crash echoed near the back gates. Everyone turned. Two gangs, Jungkook's and Minho's, were facing each other. You came running from the hallway, breathless. What the hell? You stopped dead when you saw them. Minho had Jungkook by the collar, eyes blazing. I said stay away from her. Jungkook's lips curved, calm but dangerous. And if I don't? Minho shoved him back. Then I'll make you. Jungkook tilted his head. Try. That was all it took. A punch, a swing, and chaos. Both sides crashed into each other. The sound of fists, grunts, and sneakers scraping the ground filled the air. Jungkook continuously punched Minho. His eyes were burning and everyone saw his side that can terrify anyone. If you go near her or try to trouble her, you won't be able to walk on your feet. Jungkook. Taeyong shouted, blocking one hit for him. Jungkook punched back hard, his knuckles already bleeding, but his expression didn't change. He caught Minho by the collar again and growled, You don't own her. You don't even know her. Minho spat blood, glaring. And you do? Jungkook's voice dropped. No, but I respect her. That's more than you ever did. Minho tried to hit again, but Jungkook twisted his arm and slammed him against the gate. Everyone froze. His jaw clenched, breathing heavy, eyes burning. Touch her again, he said lowly, and I'll end you. Silence. The fight stopped. Minho's gang pulled him back while Taeyong held Jungkook's shoulder, whispering, Enough, man, she's watching. Jungkook let go, chest rising and falling fast. You stood there wide-eyed, unable to move, For a second, his gaze met yours, blood on his lip, sweat on his neck, but his eyes softened when they landed on you. He didn't say a word, just looked at you for one long second before walking away. The campus was quiet that evening. The sunset light hit the cracked walls, and the air still smelled like dust from the fight earlier. People were still whispering. Did you see Jungkook punch Minho? He almost broke his jaw. Man, he never fights for girls. What was that about? You heard every whisper as you walked down the corridor, pretending you didn't care, but your heart wouldn't stop pounding. All day, your mind kept replaying that scene. The way he grabbed Minho's collar, the way his voice dropped when he said you don't own her. You didn't ask him to do that, but somehow it felt like something inside you shifted when he did. When the crowd left, you went behind the gym. You weren't sure why, maybe because you heard from someone that Jungkook was seen sitting there after the fight, and there he was. Sitting on the ground, back against the wall, his black hoodie half zipped, blood on his lip and knuckles, head tilted down, earphones in but not playing anything. You stood there for a second watching him. He didn't look like the cold bad boy everyone was scared of. You took a slow step forward. He lifted his head a little, noticing your shadow. His eyes widened just a bit before he pulled out one earphone. What are you doing here? He asked, voice rough but calm. You shrugged. Just walking. He gave a faint smirk. Behind the gym? You rolled your eyes. You always answer questions with questions. He chuckled softly and looked away. Sometimes. You walked closer, holding a small pack of tissues and a bottle of antiseptic you had grabbed from the nurse's desk. Let me see your hand, you said quietly. He looked at you surprised. You don't have to, I know. You kneeled beside him anyway. Just give it. For a second he didn't move, then he sighed and stretched his hand forward. His knuckles were bruised and bleeding. You opened the bottle, soaking the tissue, and started cleaning them slowly. He winced a little. You're not gentle at all. You looked up, then stopped fighting. He smiled. Can't promise that. You gave him a look, and he smiled faintly. You're not scared of me, huh? Should I be? Are you a ghost? That made him chuckle, and your hand stopped. Hearing a laugh from him was indeed something strange but feel good. You just laughed? He looked down, hiding a faint smile. I'm human. That made you smile too, just a little. Hearing him laugh felt strange but nice. He looked so different when he smiled, like all the walls around him cracked a little. After a small silence, you asked quietly, why did you fight with Minho? His smile faded slowly. He leaned his head back against the wall, eyes fixed on the empty court outside. You really want to know? He asked. You nodded. For a moment he said nothing, then his voice came low and honest. Because he doesn't know how to respect someone. He kept running his mouth about you, saying things he shouldn't, and he was bothering you, wasn't he? You looked at him surprised for a minute. How did you know? He smiled slightly. I just know. I told him to stop. He didn't, so I made him. You looked down, not sure what to say. You didn't have to do that. He tilted his head to look at you. Yeah, maybe, but I wanted to. The air between you grew heavier. You could feel his eyes on you, not just looking but seeing. He took a slow breath. You know what's funny? You looked up. What? I don't even know you that well. You barely talk. You walk past me like I don't exist. His lips twitched into a small smile. And still you're all I think about lately. You froze, heart skipped a beat. He leaned forward slightly, elbows on his knees, his bruised hand hanging loosely as he spoke. I don't know why, Maybe because you are the only one who doesn't try to impress me. Maybe because you never look scared when I'm around. You tried to smile. Believe me, you are not that scary. He chuckled again. You would be the first one to say that. Or maybe, he continued softly, eyes meeting yours, because every time you look at me, it feels like you actually see me. Not my name, not my reputation, just me. You didn't move, couldn't speak. His words hit too close. He gave a tiny shrug. That's why I fought him. Not because I wanted to act tough, I just couldn't stand someone talking about you like that. Your chest tightened. For someone who never talked much, he just said everything that made your heart shake a little. You looked down, hiding the faint smile that grew on your lips. You are crazy, he smirked, maybe. He stood up slowly, stretching his sore shoulders. You stood too. For a second, you both just looked at each other, quiet, but the air between you burst like something electric. Then he took a step closer. His voice was low. You can pretend you don't feel it, but I know you do. You blinked. Feel what? He smiled a little, eyes dark but warm. This. Before you could say anything, he leaned in, not too close, but enough for your heart to stop beating for a second. Enough that if anyone saw, they would know something had changed. And someone did see. Actually, almost everyone did, because right at that moment, the glass walls of the gym reflected both of you. You standing close to John Jungkook, his hand lifting slightly as if to brush your cheek. That quiet forbidden warmth between you two. The entire corridor froze. Girls gasped. Guys whispered. No way, is that Jungkook and YN? You didn't notice right away, but when you turned your head slightly, you saw them. Dozens of faces behind the glass, staring in shock. Your eyes widened. Oh my god. Jungkook looked over his shoulder, saw the crowd, and smirked. Instead of stepping away, he turned back to you and whispered, just loud enough for everyone to hear. Guess, it's not a secret anymore. Your face flushed red. You are impossible. He grinned, bruised lip and all. Yeah, but you like it. And with that, he walked out first, calm, hands in his pockets, like he didn't just drop a bomb in the middle of the school. You stood there for a second, trying to catch your breath, while everyone outside tried to make sense of what they just saw. Jungkook didn't need to say it out loud. The way he looked at you before leaving, that was his confession.